Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera and Hbar. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to ask guys, please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course I always do greatly appreciate it. Now overall, this market is kind of in an uncertain area where we're basically watching Bitcoin in correlation to stocks, and we're just waiting for that breakout event. Now the dollar is gaining massive momentum, and I've been addressing this and talking about it for a while now. I actually did warn you guys a little bit about Hbar dipping down to about like 18.5 cents during a live stream. That was a couple days ago, where we were actually in a sort of nice area before Bitcoin even started to drop. And we are down to about like 19.5 cents. And, this is the lowest point that we've been at since going back as far as the 12th, which was only 2 days ago. But we did come down to test some lows at around like almost 19 cents exact, which on the 1 month span, it's still a little bit of a higher low off of those, lows that we printed back on the 12th and even on the 11th. But it's nothing too solidifying just yet, as we do kind of zoom out and look at where we are. I mean, we are at a nice little demand zone going back to like the March time frame, but there's no solidifying role here to really tell us if we are at a bottoming stage, because basically our focus is on Bitcoin right now. Like when we look at Bitcoin, we kind of address the total 2 a little bit, and when we look at the total 2, it still looks very bullish. I mean, like, this is still ranging on some significant support. We'll most likely see that nice little bounce off of the 382 eventually. But I have been watching the dollar, because the dollar is really kind of showing us a little bit of a different picture. And I really do just want to tell you guys, like, when we talk about this dollar, we are really kind of awaiting for this to drop, and we're basically ranging around the same, resistance zone going back as far as March of 2020. You guys can kind of see that on the daily here as well. We are, tapping that resistance zone at about almost 100 exact. And the significance around this is that once this really kind of does start to fall, this is where I do believe that we see a massive crypto season ahead. This is also where we will see stocks actually jumping out. But until then, I do think that this market's going to sit a little bit stable. We are marching into the weekend. We do know that our weekly candle close is coming up. And honestly, I think that we're going to probably range until around almost the end of this month, which is something significant to watch for, because, I do believe that by the end of this month, we are going to see a little bit of a better picture on Bitcoin and also on altcoins and even on the dollar. I think that this is nearing its, local topping point, as you guys do see on 3 daily candles now, still ranging around that same resistance zone. Now, if we do see a significant bounce from here, say for so we, jump over the top of this red rectangle, that's going to be a little bit of a critical area to watch for, especially as we do see a lot more concerns around possible, hey, are we going to see a dollar rally well beyond the March of 2020 highs? I just don't see that happening, though, because of inflation rates and because of the economic views on the current U.S. economy, which I've addressed multiple times. Now, talking about the economy, this is actually fairly bullish for sustainability in crypto. I don't normally retweet big government videos, but in this case, she's right. Our economy needs to be more energy efficient. Hbar is carbon negative, and we spend a great deal of time in sustainability at Hedera. Now listen closely to this, because this is, again, from Yellen, Secretary Yellen. We must redouble our, efforts to decarbonize our economies. And listen closely to this.
The recent IPCC reports confirm that our window of opportunity to leave our planet worthy of our children and our grandchildren is even closer to being permanently shut. We must redouble our efforts to decarbonize our economies, recognizing that countries will use a range of tools, including carbon pricing, regulation, and subsidies, to achieve needed emission reductions.
And I don't believe that we're going to be seeing the use of things like like for example Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? Because like when we look at things like that, everyone always loves to say this is why they should be utilizing crypto. This is why they should be utilizing Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin's always a focus area in these, sort of situations, but the gist of it is like you can't offset carbon by just purchasing carbon offsets because that is not doing anything. When you have something that is actually carbon negative, that's a big stepping stone. This is also why I do believe that Hedera is going to succeed because everything from the time of it was like around like quarter 3 of 2021 to around the current time right now, the focus has been, basically sustainability and regulations. And when we talk about that, Hedera definitely is making strides in both of those areas. Now, also, excuse me, Ethereum merge pushed to quarter 3 as final chapter of proof of work looms. If you guys missed it, Ethereum's upgrade has been delayed. Now, a lot of individuals are still saying that it could happen within the fall timeframe, maybe somewhere between like, September, October, somewhere within that area. I just think that this is funny. I mean, like, like when we talk about Ethereum, this is a network that has boasted the, massive market dominance for a while now. It's been in the spotlight for a while as well. This is a network that has essentially, failed in the sense on its originality, right? When this originally came out, it was gonna be the next big thing, the second generation of crypto, and it's failed. Okay, I mean maybe third time's the charm with Hedera. Obviously, we have to see and wait to see what actually happens with the network. I do put a lot of trust behind Hedera, simply because I've seen what they have been building. We've watched it unfold. We watched them make major strides, especially in terms of the, Hbar Foundation. Massive funds towards incredible use cases within DeFi. But when we look at something like this, we know that this is not going to be a problem for Hedera. Hedera is not going to try to, transition away from, for example, like proof of stake, or proof of work to proof of stake. Sorry, like this is something that everyone has been waiting for. We've been hearing about Ethereum 2.0 for a while, and I just think that when we talk about networks, if you have to push upgrades to the network constantly, which by the way, the SEC has a big issue with that, especially this is why it's a focus area for Ripple. If you have to continuously upgrade a network, or if a network is in the process of continuous upgrades, then technically it is not fully finished. So Ethereum technically isn't a fully finished project. And we've actually heard Vitalik Buterin say this himself, that Ethereum is not ready for mass adoption. It really isn't. A lot of these networks aren't because they lack efficiencies in the area of mass adoption. Now, while we're talking about that, we look at things happening behind the scenes with Hedera. I've talked to you guys a little bit about the Coupon Bureau multiple times. We do see new coupon, standard is coming to Hedera, and not just in the U.S. but worldwide. Hedera will take over industry after industry, bringing real value, trust, and transparency to all. No other network is capable of transforming industries at the scale, and it's true. When we look at Ethereum, when we look at these other networks, they are not ready to, have this mass adoption scale come to their networks. Now, obviously, we have been waiting for the Coupon Bureau for a while. I've looked at their website. It looks like we could be seeing some major updates by the summertime. I'm going to be watching this closely, but we do see, whose clients include 60% of the top 25 retailers worldwide. We look forward to being a key part of accelerating adoption of this new standard. I'm actually very excited for the Coupon Bureau, not because, I think it's going to be very bullish for, Hedera. I just think that this is going to really provide a significant, amount of volume to flow over the network, and you'll basically be able to see the power of Hedera live. I think that that's a major issue with, Hedera currently. I don't think that we have enough live projects on Hedera really kind of transacting on a day-to-day process, so that people could actually truly realize the actual value behind this network and see the efficiencies. So, seeing something like this, go live on Hedera will definitely be that turning point in time. I think that that is going to be something pretty significant. Also, if you guys did miss it, Microsoft and Sony are now bullish on the metaverse. I thought that this was interesting when we look back on things like going back to like January, right? This is Microsoft bets on the metaverse with a $69 billion deal for Activision Blizzard. Gotta love it, right? Deal would be Microsoft's largest yet as company looks to scoop up embattled video game publisher. Now, this was January 18th, and just recently we seen Sony, April 11th, Sony is investing $1 billion into Epic Games to further the metaverse. Now, these are two very large names within gaming. If you guys, are not in gaming, these are two of the crucial names, biggest ones. When we talk about the metaverse, right? So we know Hedera's, really making some strides within that area as well. I think that when we talk about the metaverse, I think that this is an area of focus, especially when you look at the long-term longevity. I think that these are the areas that will bring on mass adoption. I think that this is going to be a great area for retail to get into crypto, because everyday life like the way that I look at this is, every individual around you going to be utilizing a decentralized exchange, for an example. No, I mean most people don't even know what a decentralized exchange is. But if you tell the retail individuals, hey, did you ever see the movie Ready Player One, or do you know like the metaverse in terms of VR? They're gonna basically say, I would say a large percentage of them will say yes. And this is why the metaverse is a crucial area. This is also why like even NFTs, some individuals, they kind of get the idea of NFTs, but it's still something. It's something very new in terms of infancy stages. I mean, like most people don't even know what crypto actually is. Like a lot of people don't understand crypto. So when we talk about these areas, I think that the metaverse is a very crucial area to really kind of focus on in terms of retail demand, because we already see institutional demand growing, right? DeFi, NFTs, even the metaverse. A lot of these institutional investors want to get in on these areas. Even Web3 entirely is just a major focus area. So when we talk about the retail individual, this stuff is what is going to sell it. This is going to bring on that retail FOMO and really kind of have individuals utilizing crypto technology without even knowing it. I mean, we talk about Epic Games. Epic Games, we know Fortnite. If you guys know Fortnite, then you should know Epic Games. This would basically touch massive numbers of retail individuals. Especially if you look at the gaming industry entirely, it's continuously growing. A lot more individuals are starting to play video games, so this would basically flow into almost everyday life, which is something to really kind of focus on. And last but not least, I do want to share with you guys one last thing. So we do see here, what's next for digital cash? These 6 e-cash experiments could change how we think about money. Now, we do see crypto revolution spurs central banks to design money's future. Now, the reason why I bring this up and the reason why I talk about this is because we have been seeing a major shift within CBDCs. So I just recently shared in my video on, I think it was XRP from last night, I was talking to you guys about CBDCs and how they have been streamlined. We are seeing a major shift within central bank digital currencies because we want to basically move away from the US dollar dominated markets. And when I say that, it's these nations around the world that are tired of being under this financial weapon that we call the US dollar. The SWIFT network itself is a massive financial weapon that the US controls, basically. And basically, these nations are really kind of tired of that. So they're kind of moving away from the traditional markets, or I should say the traditional infrastructure, and really kind of getting into a completely diverse modern age of money. This is why CBDCs are such a crucial area. This is also why I do believe that DLTs are going to revolutionize cash. When we look at DLTs, it's not only Hedera. I've always said there's not just going to be one player. These DLTs have the possibility of utilizing a private ledger and also a public ledger. Private ledger will be more so for central bank digital currencies and central banks entirely. And then the public ledger itself will be utilized for like more traditional sense in terms of like use cases and stuff like that. So I think that we are very close in the sense of seeing massive strides within the CBDC area. I mean, we've already been seeing this happening with CBDCs and stuff like that, and also a major focus on sustainability and regulations. I think that once regulations do spark up, I think that that's when we will see that massive shift. So, with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.